Namaste and a very good afternoon to everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the panel discussion on industry expectations in terms of technical skills. I request all the panelists and the moderator to please come on to the dais and get seated. I request Dr. Praveen Kamath sir to please come on to the stage. I also request D. Seshachalam, Professor and Vice Principal, BMSCE, to please come on to the dais. I also request Sunil Acharya sir and Dr. H N Narasimhamurthy sir to please come on to the dais. In today's rapidly evolving technological landscape, bridging the gap between academia and industry has never been more critical. This discussion aims to provide valuable perspectives on the skills and competencies that industries seek in graduates and professionals, ensuring they are well prepared for real world challenges. We are privileged to have with us a distinguished panel of experts who bring in depth industry knowledge and academic insights. We have with us Dr. Praveen Kamath Kumla, General Manager, HR Global Strategic Hiring. He brings over 3 decades of rich experience in human resources management across multiple continents and industries. Throughout his career, Dr. Praveen has demonstrated exceptional expertise in establishing and managing HR functions across diverse cultural environments in Asia, Pacific, Europe, and the Americas. His comprehensive experience spans IT, ITES, and manufacturing sectors where he has made significant contributions to talent management and organizational development. Beyond his corporate achievements, Dr. Praveen is deeply committed to social causes, particularly in education sector. He personally supports over 100 underprivileged primary school children annually, helping them access quality education. As a volunteer with Young Indians in Bengaluru, he actively mentors emerging entrepreneurs and startup CEOs. His academic credentials are equally impressive. He is a fellow in management, a gold medalist, and has attended the senior leadership program at Harvard Business School. He continues to shape the future of business education as a visiting faculty member at IIMs and serves on the board of studies at several prestigious B schools and engineering colleges. A warm welcome to you, sir. We also have with us D. Seshachalam, Professor and Vice Principal, BMSCE. He is a distinguished academician who has made significant contributions to engineering education and industry collaboration. During his 7-year tenure as department head from 2009 to 2017, Dr. Seshachalam successfully established strong industry connections and spearheaded the creation of a Center of Excellence in VLSI design in partnership with the Skills Sector Council of India. His vision led to the successful launch of an MTech program in VLSI design and embedded systems in 2014. Dr. Seshachalam serves on multiple boards of studies across prestigious engineering institutions and is a member of the evaluation committee for both the National Board of Accreditation and AICTE. His commitment to academic excellence is evident through his successful guidance of 3 PhD scholars and numerous MTech students, with 4 more research scholars currently under his guidance. As an active member of IEEE and ISTE, he has conducted numerous workshops on outcome-based education and secured funding under the MODROP scheme from AICTE. His dedication to combining academic rigor with industry relevance has significantly enhanced the quality of engineering education. A warm welcome to you, sir. We also have with us Sunil Acharya, a senior advisor and consultant to several organizations, including the Semiconductor Fabless Accelerator Lab, Karnataka Digital Economy Mission, and other companies. Sunil has held leadership roles in strategy planning, driving product management, program management, and business development, and leading global semiconductor and technology companies, including Intel and Norris. He has worked across the globe leading and managing global teams and programs. Sunil has also been vice president at the India Electronics and Semiconductor Association and has been an entrepreneur, investor, and mentor to several IT and semiconductor startups. He has engineering degree in computer sciences and a master's in computing and information technology from Australia. A warm welcome to you, sir. We are honored to have with us as our moderator for today's panel discussion Dr. H N Narasimhamurthy, Professor and Dean, Department of Mechanical Engineering, RVCE, Bengaluru. He has over 37 years of experience in teaching and research. He has made significant contributions to academic research, serving as principal investigator for more than 30 sponsored projects from prestigious organizations including ISRO, DRDO, DST, and AICTE. His research impact is evident through over 140 published articles in international referred journals. He has guided 25 PhD scholars and over 100 undergraduate and postgraduate projects. Currently serving as professor and dean of R&D, he previously held key positions including head of mechanical engineering and dean of PG studies. He holds a PhD in material science from Mangalore University and serves on important committees including the recruitment board of DRDO and the DPC review committee of ISRO. A warm welcome to you, sir. Now, without further delay, I request Dr. Narasimhamurthy, sir, to take over the proceedings and steer this discussion forward. Over to you, sir.
So, good afternoon to one and all. 2 days, you have heard many speakers talking on the requirement of technical skills in engineering curriculum. We have come to almost the end of this program. Here, we have very distinguished experts from industries and academia who have served a lot to the industry and academics, who knows what is required today in this fast changing technological world, and how to bridge the gap between academics and industries. Our only goal is to produce industry ready engineers. But where have we failed? Every time when the companies come to institutions, they have only one complaint: your students lack skills. Your students are not ready for recruitment. So please teach these skills to them. Then only we can recruit. So this is a common comment by any industry for that matter. I'm talking about institutions in Bangalore with more reference to the most reputed institute, RV College of Engineering. I think Dr. Seshachalam also will agree with me. He is from BMS College of Engineering, another reputed institution in Bangalore or in Karnataka also. So if that is the case, then how about the rural engineering colleges? Locational disadvantage, very difficult to recruit highly talented people, and difficult to connect with industries. Lot of grassroots level issues will be there. With all this, how can we bridge the gap between academia and industries? This is the question before the government. This is the question before the technological universities, institutions, faculty, and ultimately we have to serve the students and make them ready to be absorbed as they are once they complete the graduation. So how do we go about it? Where do we lack? And how to bridge the gap? Let us listen from each of the experts what they say. And in the end, the session is open to the audience. You can give suggestions, you can query the panelists and get their suggestions. And end of the day, we should be able to get some idea, the takeaway points, which can be given to the government, which can be given to the universities, and which can be given to the institutions. Today, most of the institutions are going for autonomous status, and they can make their own syllabus. There is no much restriction, although the technological universities and AICTE, they give the model curriculum. Within the model curriculum, we can make a lot of changes. We have the flexibility today. Earlier, Government colleges were very few, and today we have so many autonomous institutions. I think autonomous institutions should show the way first, and then affiliated institutions can follow that. So let us see, let us hear from each one of them. But we are all aware of what are all the challenges. We know the gap between industry and academics. There is a huge gap. Whenever they ask them, they say your syllabus is not updated. You need to add these skills to this curriculum. But we have a fixed curriculum, fixed time frame in the curriculum. Number of subjects or courses are fixed. Number of credits are fixed. Within that, we cannot compromise on the fundamentals, fundamental skills, fundamental discipline oriented knowledge. We cannot compromise on that. Tomorrow, if a student comes out of mechanical engineering or electronics engineering, he has to be sound with his basics. No compromise on that. In addition to that, lot of interdisciplinary skills are required. Lot of skills, soft skills are required, which are practiced in the industries. But how do we give them? Where is the time slot? And how do we build the capacity? Capacity building is the most important and most crucial issue we are facing. It is cost intensive. So any management you ask, it is very difficult to get the funds for building extra infrastructure other than what is prescribed. Many institutions are today struggling for their basic sustenance because everybody is moving towards IT. IT has become the first priority of any student, any parent. They want to do only IT related courses. What about the traditional engineering disciplines? So this is causing a huge problem. And also, we cannot say they are wrong. You cannot compare the packages that are there in IT and they are there in non-IT. We cannot compare. So a student, first of all, he completes graduation only to be placed in a good organization with good salary. That is his first intention. Leave alone this knowledge, further studies and all that. In 4 years, he has to be equipped with some knowledge and skills and he should get into some job in a reputed industry and he must get sound attractive package. That will be his goal, his attitudinal issue. And some students are more oriented to only getting the score and marks. So if they are able to get some S grade or O grade, that is enough. Forget what they have learned in the 4 year curriculum. So how do we change their attitude? How do we tell them these are the skills for today and tomorrow? And then if you see the basic fundamental knowledge, theoretical knowledge for a discipline, it will serve him for his lifetime. If you look at the skills, there are so many skills required today. The same skills will not be there tomorrow. It is very dynamic. So industries practice different skills year after year, like what is happening with computer-oriented skills today. Today, the whole world is talking about AI, ML, etc., etc. So, how long it may sustain? So, if you look at skills, it may not be there forever. So, it will continuously change. It will evolve year after year. So, when that is the case, lot of issues are there for the institution to provide that, and lot of issues with the fixed time frame, fixed number of courses and fixed curriculum as dictated by higher authorities. So everybody is facing issues here. So and then let us say there are so many issues, then who has to bell the cat? Who has to come forward and do the change? Lot of initiative has to be taken by the faculty because faculty is the core of this educational system. So unless they come forward, they are prepared to learn because this learning, it is also somewhat age based. So if they are in 30s and 40s, they can absorb faster. After 40s and 50s, they're learning the quickness to learn, easy to learn, the way they can learn faster, that comes down. So what we have done in the past, like up to 50s, we're all encashing that. Today, if somebody says you go and learn these soft skills. It may be difficult for a senior faculty to do it. So what I want to say is, the young faculty has to come forward and be ready to absorb the changes, and they should be the change makers. So there is responsibility in everybody, institutional administration, institution management, the university, the government, the AICT, the governing bodies, accreditation bodies. People talk so many things about accreditation bodies. But what I say is, take any accreditation body for that matter, whether it is NAC or NBA or NIRF or whatever it is. Look at the parameters. Each one of them have come out with beautiful parameters which will make the institution to grow in the right direction. Whatever the skills we are talking about, technical skills we are talking about, they are all dictated by all these accreditation bodies. But where we have failed is, we have failed to understand the spirit of these accreditation bodies, and we have failed to address those, and somewhere we will manage and get some grade there also. So lot of issues at the grassroots level and different levels. If you dig into it, there are so many things that can be talked about. Let us not see the dark side of it. Let us see the light side of it. And then we have a very distinguished panelists here. Professor Mr. Acharya is there. Mr. Praveen Kamath is there, who are from industries. One is from the digital economy mission. Today we are in the digital world, and I think he can say what is the best skill that should be given in the engineering education with respect to digital technology. You take any discipline for that matter, today digital technology has come in and lot of diversification has happened. Interdisciplinary nature of subjects are being taught, and lot of skills with respect to digitization has come in. So we can hear from him a lot, Mr. Sunil Acharya, and then Mr. Kamath is expertise in strategies and technology as well as HR. He is specialized in HR. Probably he knows better what skills must be given to the students in the engineering curriculum, and we'll take lessons from them. And Mr. Seshachalam is on the other side, like me, from the academics, and he has to take lessons from the industries. We have to match to their requirements. Let us give a first opportunity to Mr. Sunil Acharya and hear from him what changes are required in the curriculum, how to go about it, and who can make it.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thank you for that overview. It helps. So essentially, although I am from the digital economy mission, I've spent most of my life with technology, so I understand technical requirements and technical skills, and we have a very august set of speakers here who know the industry very well. Fundamentally, let's understand, what do you mean by industry readiness in the first part, right? I mean, we all talk about this need for industry readiness, and my co-panelists can probably attest to that. It's a very vague, broad term. Essentially, very holistically, what we mean from an industry standpoint is, when we get an employee in, or when we hire an employee, how long does it take for them to be productive? How long does it take for them to deliver something towards the business goals? It could be technical, it could be non-technical. The question is, are they able to deliver what the business wants? How long are they taking, and how effectively are they doing this? So this is what we mean by business readiness, or even employment, or say how productive the employee is. Now, coming to the first question on what are some of the challenges? I think we need to fundamentally understand what is the responsibility of academia, what is the need from the industry, and how do we bridge that gap. So I think sir very nicely summarized. I think fundamentally it is the responsibility of academia to provide fundamental and foundational technical skills. There is no second thought on that, because unless the student or who becomes a potential employee has their fundamentals in place, it becomes very challenging as we go forward. It could be in IT or non-IT, wherever you move. That responsibility entirely lies with academia. What is linked to that is, of course, curriculum. Fundamental technologies don't change so fast. When you talk about industry readiness, it is the application of the fundamental technologies, how it is used. So there is no, you cannot compromise on the fundamentals. I know the IT wave probably made it seem like anyone can do anything, but the reality is it is a responsibility of academia to ensure that the foundational skill set is strong, and it is the heaviest responsibility on academia. In terms of curriculum, over a period of time, things change and industry can work to provide inputs. But the delivery mechanism of training the student is entirely up to the academic organization. The second area where academia is responsible, or what we see as playing a huge role, is of course in professional skills. When we talk about professional skills, you may say it's theoretical, but what we are referring to is teamwork. How do you work in teams? In general, communication. These are partly theoretical and partly practical. So the theory part can definitely be accomplished by academia. The third part, sir, we are dealing with Gen Z. We are not talking about people of my age or our age. The current employable candidates are, they have a different mindset altogether. They have very short attention span. They need to know the whole vision. They are not necessarily going to stick to one thing for a very long. I'm generalizing, but if you go and see the demography today, that is how it is. So your point around, they don't find a particular thing interesting, I think that is the responsibility of faculty to understand what is it that would interest them, how can we encourage more interest from the students to look at fundamental skills versus having to just go at the next shiny object. So there are 3 to 4 things that, to summarize, academia is responsible. Firstly, fundamental foundational technology skills, professional skills, aptitude and mindset. These are completely under the control of academia, because you also mentioned the age category. They are at a particular age where they are far more impressionable versus when they go. Now, coming to the readiness part, which is what we call the bridge. Like you said, there are immediate needs of the industry. Why? Because it costs money for the industry to train a candidate, right? And also to make them productive. So it is at that space where what we call the bridging part needs to happen. The industry needs to collaborate with academia, letting them know these are the kind of skill sets above the fundamentals. Foundational skills are not compromisable, but above that you have some specific skill sets. You see this, some new AI stuff, some in the chip design space. Now today VLSI is hot. So yes, these are, I would say, the cream on the cake, but you need to have the fundamentals in place. Now, this is the need. I will say a few things about how and then I will pass it on. So on the how part, my submission is that our approach has been to look at students, give them experience in the industry. But the reality is, when we talk about internship, the industry cannot absorb as many students as you're outputting to provide internship, because it is actually a heavy lift for the industry to deal with an intern, train them. So I would submit that we need to look at this differently. It is the faculty who have a much larger cascading impact. So if, or not if, but some of the, in fact, I am just coming out of a phone call, which is specifically talking about, can we look at how we can encourage faculty to become more industry ready? It is not the student, because if the faculty is industry ready, then the student automatically has an increased probability of becoming industry ready. Second, Gen Z today does not look at faculty like we did. For us, perhaps many of us here, our teachers were, everything. Correct. But today, Google is everything, right? Correct. Because the respect that you had for faculty may not be the way we looked at. So, and the reason for that is they believe that the faculty is not updated. So the submission is there should be rotation programs, internship programs, engagement. I'm sure some companies are doing it, but also from the academia side, there should be more encouragement and financial support. You can't expect the industry to keep supporting this, but we have to figure out, you talked about the government stakeholders, maybe there is a play there. How do we encourage faculty to get that, let us say, industry readiness first, because then the impact is more. The second aspect is we also need to encourage faculty to do, like you said, to learn. When you say, why would they learn? Only if they are rewarded or recognized. So I think we have to recognize the faculty, give them more encouragement, pay them better, all of those things, and we have to figure out how to do that. So that's my submission. I think academia has a responsibility very strongly. Faculty can play a huge cascading impact. We have to look at things like faculty rotations, getting the faculty ready, and that I think will be at least a particular strategy for addressing some of the challenges we face. Thank you.
Yeah. Mr. Acharya says the central point lies with the faculty and capacity building in terms of training the faculty is most important. So attention is shifted from student to the faculty. Let us agree with that. It's a very important point. Unless the faculty changes, we will not be able to serve the students. We have also good experience in that. Yes, over to Mr. Kamath.
ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? We are wasting time debating about industry and academic gap. Absolute waste of time. Don't discuss it. I'm a little subtle, very powerful input giver. If I'm not a partner with you in the crime, I won't survive. If somebody comes to the stage and says there is an industry gap, academia industry gap, it has become a cliche statement. Just forget it, yeah. Next time ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಇದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ, just take him out, give him a quick whack. Yeah, I'm a little subtle, but I'm very powerful in telling you some inputs. Look at any industry, any academia today. Run by whom? Except for a few trusts. You know it. You don't have to tell me. I don't, it's recorded. So don't get into trouble, because the paycheck has to come to you and paycheck has to come to me. If somebody says education is all about education, I have a doubt. Okay? Secondly, are you doing a job or you are doing a profession? Most of us doing a job. I've been a visiting faculty during my pastime, by passion, on weekends and my personal time for last 3 decades. In the best known B schools across the globe. Believe me, teaching has to become a profession for all of us. The day 5 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಚಪಾತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಗಂಡ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, problem statements are many. Can't we elevate our level? Now, gap we are talking about. Look at RVCE. My daughter is in RVCE. She doesn't have time to sleep. The skill building they do, yesterday Dr. Subramaniam was here talking about MOUs with 20 different companies. Look at 5 top colleges in Bangalore. I've been a recruiter for the last 3 decades. I recruited from RV in 1996 from mechanical department. So, Nimwabur student to Sudhir K. He's a mini CEO now. Somnath Singh from chemical department. So, this is how you should consider yourself, okay? First of all, pat on your back that you're doing a hats off job. Pat on your back. Don't be very subservient to the world of industry and the leaders who come on the stage with pinstripe suit and talk to you. Please, you have an equal representation when they come and talk to you. Let me tell you, this is the difference between engineering education and management education. Nobody gives his bhav unless you talk sense in the classroom in IIMs. Tomorrow I'm in IIM Indore. I'm leaving to the airport from here. I get my credibility by virtue of not as an industry. Credible sense to the classroom which I build, which all of you are building. That's pat on the back, okay? Don't be subservient. The problem with, look at US economy, US education system. Community colleges I'm talking about. Nimdu Ivy League ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು. Community colleges ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Smaller cities which has community colleges. What is the difference between you and those colleges? One is job to profession. That's one difference. Second, what we do with our research paper? Research papers are for optics. Research papers, 99% of your research paper, I'm sorry to say this because I'm a postdoctoral person now. So I have the proud privilege of saying certain insights here. Did your any research paper, except writing it in the CV, passport has no value until you have a seal of a visa. Application based learning or teaching gives you all kinds of credits. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? There is no gap. It is a percentage of compliance. In a well-known college or so-called established college, the percentage of gap is minimal. In an unorganized or newly built or underprivileged or not so well-known Tier 5 school in Trichy, that gap could be about 70 to 80%. You can't blame them for that. You understood what I'm saying? ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ 100% are top flyers, is it? It's only the top 30% who will get 60 lakhs job. ಅದು ನೀವು ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ವಾ? Look at the balance of the 70%. I think let's be very prominently focusing on the pyramid rather than blanket approach to saying that, oh, you are gods. Industry dictates. Let me tell you, industry can't even survive without you. I signed up with 30 universities in India when I was global head of talent acquisition for a large company where I work now. What did I do? Train and hire. Training academies. What did we do in the bargain? We also trained teachers. Mission 10X or Talent Next, whatever you call. We created teachers. Rather than sitting in the balcony and throwing stones saying that, oh, teachers are not studying well. Oh, teachers can't certify. Okay? My last bit, I'll be very emotional and create you that zeal afternoon hours, right? After a nice lunch and a sweet, I just ate that just to ensure what you eat. So I came and I've eaten that food. I just want to entertain you while continue to drive home certain basic sense of making ourselves proud as teachers and rubbing shoulders as adult to adult with the industry. The day you can rub the shoulders as adult to adult, which we are doing in the best known IITs and NITs and some of the well-known top 5 colleges in Bangalore. I don't want to name that, I'll be biased because elrigu nan advisory idini. Everybody needs me, right? So what I'm saying is, let's be adult to adult. Let's don't undermine our credibility. Let's be sincere in what we do. Elevate the pyramid from 30% to 50% to 70%. Run a mile to build trainability. Employability bekagilla. Can you create trainable people? And all this so-called, with your permission, so-called nonsense of Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen X. I've done 5 cohorts of generation mele PhD nandu. Nanu Gen Z agidde when I was 18 years old. Don't get into this management mafia and project reports on generation. There is nothing of that kind. My nieces, when I was a child, I asked all difficult questions to my uncle and aunt. My nieces asked, so what do you call your nieces and nephews and daughters? Oh, Gen Z. Oh, Generation Alpha. Idiosyncrasies we run, right? Odalwa. There is nothing called generation. It's all about, if in my class somebody is opening the mobile phone, it's my problem, not the child's problem. If the child is sleeping, it's my problem. If the child is not interacting well, it is my problem as a teacher. Let's do a little bit of soul searching while we continue to pat on our back. ನಾನು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂದರೆ, every session I take on management, I get graded. Every session, no? Not once in 6 months, not at the beginning of the semester and end of the semester. So you have to be on your toes. Every lesson plan you create gets graded by the students, and then they will come and tell you, yes, this is the professor who should teach us. Now, mentally, can you elevate your level saying that I need to be marketing well, I want to transfer my knowledge, I want to create that excitement, I want to ensure that we learn together. I think the day we do that, we will be a community colleges, equivalent to a community college mindset, application-based learning. And we don't do our research paper for optics. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ನೀವು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿ? ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯು ಸೀನ್? ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಮತ್ತು ಬಾಕಿ ಮಾಡದವರು ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಕಲ್. ವೈ ಡಿಡ್ ವಿ ಡೂ ಸೋಲ್ ಸರ್ಚಿಂಗ್? I will leave it there.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Kamath's submission is, it's a compliment to the faculty. He says, uplift your esteem. I think both of you concurred on one thing, that is capacity building. The faculty has to take the initiative. Faculty has to uplift himself. Then only things will happen. Both of you concurred on that. Let us move on to Dr. Seshachalam.
Yeah. Thank you, my co-panelists, so that you have put forth your requirements from the other side. So it's as good as the bride and bridegroom matching, where they are asking what is required. And as an academician, I need to justify, as well as I can say some kind of action plans that institution like RV and we always, because both of you hit on the nail, that faculty competency need to be increased. Because unless, as you said, how faculty can be competent? You said if a student is using mobile, it's my problem. That means faculty problem. So faculty, the day on which they join, definitely the technology changes has happened so much. Okay, I come from the beginning. Professor, our Narasimhamurthy sir, he mentioned first thing is fundamentals. No institution compromises on fundamentals, basically. There actually we teach a lot of reasoning, critical thinking, these kind of things in their own domain, because VLSI engineer needs different competency, a mechanical engineer and thermodynamics need different competency, fluid mechanics needs. So this capacity building in the fundamentals, every college is strong by itself. Absolutely no doubt on that. Whereas the top up on the cake, what you said, the skills, this keeps on changing. The skills what industry needs, what you call as a gap or whatever is that is not static. That is completely dynamics. Whereas thermodynamics in 1990s is same today, thermodynamics also. Fundamentals have not changed. Analog devices might be changing in the semiconductor technology from BJT to FinFETs or gallium arsenide devices. That's all. Okay. So coming to the second part, the top up on that, I dare definitely agree that faculty need to be trained. For example, today if you say in each college, computer science, they are opening with 5-6 specializations like AI, data science. Okay. How you can expect cyber security, etc., with various nomenclatures? A poor guy who has joined 5 years back, let us say, he has come with a basic computer science degree, and you ask him to teach immediately the cyber security and ask him to do immediately the delivery in the class. Okay, leave alone taking him a certification. So in these domains, actually, from academic behalf, we also need either the government participation or the industry participation, where faculty training kind of thing, we are into it actually, so that we are giving our faculty for the first 2 times, our faculty also act like students in the class. We are engaging ourselves with lot of certification bodies and say and thank God our faculty are, they are humble enough to learn, so that they only help in assessment and things like that. But we are now associating with many industry partners and certifying agencies who give a lot of online programs and things like that. So we have to give a breathing time for them, because learning cannot be, as sir said, 50 years fellow, different learning curve, 30 years fellow, different learning curve, because the slope keeps changing. So according to that, institutions like autonomous institutions, I can say, we have the freedom of that. And unless until that happens, yeah, definitely we keep talking about this buzzword called gap and things like that. So the day this can happen across several institutions, So then faculty will learn and they know how to drive the car then. So then, as you said, no mobile switch on. Otherwise, see, most of the people here, they are used to conventional classroom teaching. Still they feel that gets valid today also, which is wrong actually. Fine. So unless until that capacity building is done. And one more kind of measures, because I am talking more about the because rather than, as sir said, rather than dark side, there are many things. But now I am showing on a kind of small remedial measures that we are addressing. Then one more thing is AICT has launched one scheme called Professor of Practice, just for the information. So you people, I mean, who can get passionate as well as moderate remuneration, can attach with institutions. So every institution has got a freedom to take what is called as Professor of Practice. So we are now taking Professor of Practice across, whatever is the new kind of emerging technologies that comes into picture. So in that way, we are leveraging. So ultimately, all these are boiling down to, hand-holding faculty first. Because unless until that happens, I am also of the same opinion. Because being a vice principal, I take this call. Because unless until we do that, every day we talk with new buzzword. Industry comes and says, oh, this is changing. Like the top up. Base is same. At the same time, after recruitment, they come back and say, no, your students are weak in fundamentals. So this is always a blame game. Of course, we have, because we are at the receiving side, I feel. Because we have to make many people ready. So in that process, I do agree there may be some small lapses, but as much as possible, we are trying to fill the gap, something like this. And with lot of industry collaborative labs, like I told in my introductory, this one, Skill Sector Council of India, we opened a lab for semiconductor industry, so that whatever is the changes in the semiconductor industry, be it in the physical design, whatever is that, back-end tools, we are trying to teach our faculty first. Our target is on the faculty. Because unless until we handhold them, the bookish knowledge what they obtained 15 years back, 20 years back, doesn't hold good today. Because students are getting answers from Google or Chat GPT or whatever is that, they feel, as you said, Guru Bhyo Namaha, their Guru Bhyo Namaha will be to Chat GPT. So that is what is the thing. Otherwise, yes, we do agree, all challenges common for all of us, and then try to implement NEP terminologies as much as possible. So the National Education Policy also has given a lot of freedom. So in that way, we are trying to cope up with what is needed. But again, my humble request to my industry friends is, try to help institutions to, wherever platform that you get and request come, whatever is the way that you can partner with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Seshachalam says there is some requirement of uplifting the faculty in the new areas. That is fine. How do you change the attitude of the faculty? As vice principal, can you tell some measures?
ಇದು ಒಂಥರ ಹುಟ್ಟುಗುಣ, ಆ್ಯಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅದನ್ನು ತಾವೇ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಷ್ಟೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಲೈಫ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅರೌಂಡ್ ಯು and the needs will drive your attitude. That is what I feel. So that is the only way out for everyone. Sir, anything else that you can add?
So I felt I wanted to jump here. Lot many times I think the experience called monkeys, the experience is equivalent to monkeys. They grow to be baboons and King Kongs. Okay, the only way to change it, top down. Your HODs, your first grade professors, I'm telling you from my IIM's background, the way, your attitude sucks when you have a professor of practice come from the industry. I can boldly tell this any platform. You have to bow down because there is an element of learning which is required, and correspondingly a professor of practice will have to bow down for corresponding learnings from the other party. I think what is important for all of us as teachers, replicate what happens even in a business environment. What happens? There is a customer, there is a supplier, there is an ecosystem of products and services. Can we think that I am going to deliver service and my product is my syllabus? If I'm going to think like that, I am telling you, You just can't score less than 4.7 out of 5 rating. For me, I'm telling you with conviction, okay? For me, every session, I go with a conviction in front of the students, telling myself, it has to be better than my last week's session. Sometimes my wife and my daughter tells if they are online, if it's an online session with ISB and IMK and other reputed, school of management in Manila. So whenever I do online sessions, they ask me, why you are so passionate? I said, that's the only way you can showcase your energy levels. Cognitively, you can have a Gen I giving you all the replies. Now they can generate PPTs. Now somebody was, yesterday, day before yesterday I was sitting with my daughter. It can convert a code into a video. I was spending time in Singularity University with Peter Diamandis when he came to India. Peter Diamandis I'm talking about, who was talking about humanoids. So I'm just saying, the world will move on. What is that you and me can control? I think that's more important. I think blaming the world, saying that it's going to AI generated and things will move faster than you and me, may be true. How do I adapt and make meaning out of that and still stand tall? Can we have a mindset, an attitude? Still long way to go, long way to go, long way to go. I think that attitude will make you a better teacher. For sure.
Yeah, we will appreciate your energy levels. Okay, we'll go to the audience. There are audience here, participants with rich knowledge, expertise, experience in teaching technical skills, collaborated with industries. As I know, there are so many people here sitting. We can listen to them. They can also give tips as to how we can make the curriculum more technical skill oriented without compromising the fundamentals of a discipline. Let's hear from some of you.
Sir, one more thing. The student admitted for Tier 1 colleges, Tier 2 and Tier 3 colleges, totally different. Especially Tier 2 and Tier 3 colleges, they are very poor students in the sense, or ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. 2 to the power of 8 ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತರ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ Tier 2, Tier 3 ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. One more thing is, there is a nowadays faculties clerical work ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ. Accreditation, NAC, NBA, etc., etc.
MIRF ranking data, so faculty has to give the data.
Because we have to generate the data, that is the problem. You can collect the data, it is fine. So you have to engineer the data.
We are using more time to filter the data, submitting the data for accreditation. One more thing, and also what I observed is, parents is not at all, maximum 90% of the parents, not at all worried about whether the college is accredited by NBA or NAC 30. Finally they are saying that, or ನಮ್ಮ ಮಗು ಸೇರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋಗದೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವರು ಕೆಲಸ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So faculty is
Ready to upgrade, but they don't have time because of their lot of clerical work, and also outside the colleges, due to the distance, they can't work after 5 p.m. ಈಗ ಸಿಟಿಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ they can work, there is a transportation facility. These are the basic fundamental problems what we are facing.
So it is a full stop to the whole issue.
No sir, we have to give some suggestion for this one, for the student admission. ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರು Tier 2, Tier 3 colleges, how is our students? ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್, Tier 1 ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸಾಕು ಡಿಸೈನಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ Tier 2, Tier 3 ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಡಯಾಮೀಟರ್ 40 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು 60 ಹಾಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಂಬರ್ 1, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫ್ರೇಮಿಂಗ್? ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ದಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೆವರ್ ಟಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ದೇ ಡಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ 22 ಸ್ಕೀಮ್, ದೇ ಮರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್. ಡಿಸೈನ್ 1, ಡಿಸೈನ್ 2 ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಗೇನ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ 10 hours. ಕಾಮು ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಾಮು ಮರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ 40 hours ಟು ಟೀಚ್. ಈ 40 hours ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೋಂಥ ಹುಡುಗರ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿಲಿ ಹೌ ಟು ಟೀಚ್ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟಿಪ್ಯುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಬೈ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ಕ್ಲರಿಕಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್.
No, but that is not the focus of this forum.
ಸರ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲರಿಕಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಈಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು, ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಅಪ್ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಈ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲಲ್ಲೇ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಅಪ್ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಟೈಮ್. ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಗ್ರೇಡ್?
Sir, I'm from a tier 10 background. Okay, I'm not even tier 3. I went to tier 3 afterwards. I studied from a very small government school, government high school. Then I went to a tier 3 in Mangalore. Believe me, my teachers spent time teaching me Schrodinger equation in physics. My teachers differentiated between nuclear fission and fission reaction after 5 p.m. Touch your heart. I'll tell you, I'm doing an ISB session, Hyderabad ISB. There was a feedback in that session saying that we don't understand assignment. You did not spend time on letting us know the assignment. I said, I will spend time. Are you ready? I work 16 hours a day, sir, in the industry. I got time in my personal space. I called them for a meeting on Monday. This happens on a weekend class. On Monday, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I spend my time. The origination of interest can't be outsourced. Because 5 o'clock my bus goes. I also teach in tier 3, tier 4 MBA schools. Okay, ಈಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಿದ್ರು ನಾನು ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜು ಫ್ಲೈಟ್ ಫೇರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಆನರೇರಿಯಂ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಾಕಿ 2 ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಫ್ರೀ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕಲಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. Where is the intent? The intent has to come from us. Entrepreneurs who run colleges for business, education has become business. They will have no idea about what you have to do. They will just tell you, simply comply with the 10 hours of curriculum, subject to availability of time in that semester or trimester, whatever it is. Okay, then the other one, you are talking about administration. Yaar illa sir administration. Industry CEOs ಕೇಳಿ. If somebody tells as a CEO, no, I do only strategy. In my title, there is a strategy word. How much strategy we do? About 8 to 9% of our work profile is strategic. About 90 to 92% of our work is routine. I have to do my routine. As we are speaking here, I was looking at if there is any approval pending for offer to be released. I was just checking there. It's all about mindset I need to build. I need to tell myself administration is part of my life. So I think let's not complain about administration. Now I can tell you, if you are making up, as sir said, then you have a bigger problem. You knew en madakagala adu. As faculties, you can't do anything. You have a bigger problem. It's ನಾನು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗೋಗ ISOಗೆ ISO ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಡಿಟರ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಒಂದು ವಾರ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. That is not ISO, no. That is not ISO. ISO is day in and day out. You should practice ISO. You can't prepare for the start auditors to look good and you look good. ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಡ್ಬೋದು. ನೀವು ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡದೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಅವರ್ ಕೊಲೀಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಜಾಕಿರ್ ಭಾಯ್, ಉಸ್ತಾದ್ ಜಾಕಿರ್ ಹುಸೈನ್, he still sits in the green room and practices for 1 or 2 hours with Rahul Sharma before coming to the stage, even after 4 Grammy. Even after 4 Grammy.
But sorry to intervene. What they do in routine and what they prepare are different. Then that is.
That's why you are making up. You should not make up. Yeah, that's a bigger problem then. Every time you have to make up for NAC. Yeah, Nanu, I also represent NAC, right, on the other side, as an industry and as a parent. Don't, be what you are on a regular basis. It's okay, B minus. A plus ಬರಬೇಕಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? 100 ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾ? I know what is your problem. ಮತ್ತೆ that has to go as an advertisement. ಅದು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಡೌನ್. All this problem statement, where does it start from? Because we don't do our work well. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನನಗೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಚೇರ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಕೇಳೋದು? ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾನು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಂ ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೋ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ MP Shah. That's why any program he calls me, I'll come. Because there is an intent versus execution has to match. Intent remains gospel, execution becomes zero. ದೇವರೇ ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಹೊಡಿಬೇಡಿ ಆಯ್ತಾ ನನಗೆ.
You got the answer? You didn't get the answer?
Yeah, let me kind of just agree with what he said, right? I think genuinely, because I also work very closely with a couple of rural institutions. First of all, just to agree with Mr. Praveen, I should have eaten the sweet he ate. I had probably far more, enthusiasm like he is. But the point is, the reality is, we do understand that. Firstly, I don't think the industry looks down upon faculty. I think that is a perception that maybe some faculty have. Genuinely, because a lot of the input that comes, whether it is technical or otherwise, even attitude also, it is completely dependent on the faculty. And in terms of Tavelido, to get the faculty experience, we are suggesting that the faculty should interact with the industry, not necessarily just the students, but it is very true. I have worked also with several government institutions myself, right all the way from schools, from kindergarten to engineering. And I fully agree that your administrative requirements are increasing. They are not coming down. And I agree with sir, with all the motivation, you still have to do the administrative activity. So it does, like your daughter, they also have very little time to work on with whatever time is left. And tier 2 has being, very close to a tier 2 institutions, or even tier 3, I don't know what we want to call it. It's a big challenge because the student is not willing to stay after 5, even if the faculty wants, because of specific, basic infrastructure issues. So I think, sir, one of the solutions you talked about stakeholder, what is it that we can solve this issue? One is, yes, we do need faculty to engage with or collaborate with industry, no doubt. We don't want to call it a gap, but today it's a necessity. You can call it gap or whatever. If you want your students to be not just employable, what is the career path for a student? One is they go into a job. Second, they do some research someplace. Or third, they become academics, right? For all three, fundamentals are important. Second, attitude, I think sir was referring to, being internally motivated. The part of how to keep people internally motivated is, first of all, to recognize academia for the hard work that they're doing, which is your point. Secondly, to keep that interest ongoing, there should be both recognition and motivation. Third is what sir is referring to, the infrastructure and administrative requirements being imposed on the faculty. We need to figure a way out to balance it. Now, sir was referring to community colleges in the West. That's a very wrong comparison, in my opinion, because they have the infrastructure, they have a set of guidelines, and the faculty will sue the government if they are forced to do something they don't want to. We don't have that here.
They do what they say.
Exactly. And today, I think we are in a transitionary mode where traditionally our approach to faculty has been, in fact, it is the other way, sir. When we went to school, faculty was here, at least. Even whether you are in industry or wherever, you may be the CEO of any company, but when you see your teacher, all that is gone, right? So I don't think that hierarchy, exists today. It is different. I think faculty members also enjoy if their students treat them almost as a friend, because, so I think there is a change in culture. We have to adapt. There are some good things we can learn from the West. But definitely, I agree, we don't necessarily need to look at faculty as below. In fact, industry does not look at faculty. It absolutely does not. I mean, if some faculty feel, like sir was saying, that you are going to learn something from us, it is not fundamentals. I can guarantee you, we will not be able to teach you fundamentals. Yes, we can give you what is the application part. I think that is why Mr. Praveen is referring that even faculty should start getting exposed to application related learning so that you can teach appropriately. So I think quickly to summarize, I agree. I think that problem is real. You talked about working with the government, working with curriculum. Unless that problem is solved, you can do whatever motivation. They don't have the time to do it or the resources. It is not that they don't want to do it. But even if they are motivated, I can tell you example of a tier 2 which school. Teacher is willing to stay after 5:30, 6, 7. But the student has to go back to his village. Last bus is at 5 o'clock.
Correct.
So there are some practical problems, especially for tier 2.
Yeah.
And another point I will say is you talked about fundamentals and, teachers. And I think a tier 1 never has to worry about placements.
Yes, true.
Nobody goes to IIT guy doesn't come looking, please, they're finished by the time, they're full. So if your fundamentals are good, because, he was talking about, be ready for training, not necessarily for employability, because I know I can train this guy on anything. So when we take somebody from an IIT, we are sure fundamentals are strong, we can place them anywhere. So I agree, we don't need to call it a gap, but essentially it's a need today. If you want your students to either succeed in placement or in research or even as a teacher, the fundamentals need to be strong. Secondly, the professional skills is what the academics can give. Thirdly, the attitude and the learning capability, etc., is given. So, but that is what Sir is raising is a genuine problem. If there is a policy or if there is a way, because we saw even the number of credits being put by AICTE, I think it was at 210, I don't know, and you have to lower it. And if you come, 160, so it was 210 if I hear, and then it was brought down, right?
Down.
Yeah, so now, if you want to rationalize to world standards so the teacher gets time to upgrade themselves, maybe that is also an area to look at as part of the solution. That's
Okay. So the faculty to interact with the external world is key.
They need time though.
Fine. So anybody else?
Point here to, yeah, we heard a lot about tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So now I have an opinion only from my college, my institute as such. Of course, let me say that we belong to tier 1 as such.
He is also from RV.
There's been a rat race even with respect to the industries while hiring the students. So it's something like I would like to agree with Professor Seshachalam. Placing students in a company is like marrying a boy and a girl, and finally both are to a larger extent are dissatisfied. So the thing is that the industry wants the best of the students or best of the brains, and the students want best of the packages, 50 lakhs, 70 lakhs. Now it's even crossing all these marks. So they are coming as early as 6th semester, and even I'm witnessing 5th semester. Pre-placements are all happening even at 5th semester. And finally, the industries say that they are not complete engineers or something like that. But look at the time, look at the phase wherein the industry are recruiting the students. 5th or 6th semester, he still has 1/4 of his engineering studies left. And there is a cascading effect when it comes. So a student who is very strong in his fundamentals and he may be having his own plans to pursue in his areas of specialization, the moment he is given an offer letter or something like that, and that goes with a conditional letter, saying that he needs to maintain his CGPA of 8.59, whatever it is. So instead of choosing a, analytical or a more challenging subject, that boy moves towards the management subject, because there are so many electives in his final semesters, or 6th, 7th, 8th. There are so many things which he needs to learn. And that boy is still not done his industry internship, which is in 7th semester. Industry project, which is in his 8th semester. But he's placed during 5th or 6th semester. So many soft skills, professional skills is still left out. He's still not even probably off-baked, we can say. So at off-baked, you are trying to assess a student. And on a longer run, as I told you, he's foregoing many of the engineering courses as such. He may choose a behavioral course, a motion course, or a management course.
When they observe a student at 5th semester level, they'll be happy with him. They're not identifying any gap in him.
No, I'm telling, now that's only, no sir, what they do is they identify and recruit the students because he's a bit smart and a fast learner.
Yeah,
They don't assess his technical skills.
That is right.
They don't assess his technical skills. Only because he's a good learner, they hire him, in the sense that he is a promising employee for them. So that is how it all begins with. And what I mean to say is that my overall argument is that it has got a cascading effect on the student itself. So instead of choosing a computational subject or analytical subject, he will dilute his thing, because there is a condition. He need to end up with 9 CGPA again, or else the offer letter may not hold good. Or he may even go complacent. I'm already placed. Why should I take a challenging subject over there?
But why did you give option to do that?
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to come down. So could there be a policy matter wherein we can say that, or all consortium of the colleges can come down and say that not earlier to 7th semester industry should come and recruit them? How can you recruit a student in 5th or 6th semester? At least allow him to finish his industry internship. Is that not the right?
Second semester also.
Is that not the right time? 7th semester, wherein he's almost ready and.
See, it's a matter of supply demand. Why do people come to sixth semester? Because they don't want to lose out on the opportunity to get a good employee. So what is it actually? It's a symptom of the industry not being sure that they will get a reliable supply of good quality candidates from a set of institutions. Now, your problem is a tier 1 problem. If you go to tier 2, he will be waiting. I've got so many students. Please come in first semester also, I'm happy, right? So it's a supply demand problem. And the reason why industry is facing this issue is we don't see a reliable supply. So the promising candidates, like you said, could be 5 or 6. Right? Whom nobody wants to lose, because as somebody, as an employer, again, like sir was saying, we look at trainability, right? Can I take this person and change or maybe upgrade them to do something where they are immediately productive? Now, we cannot tell the industry. You can actually form a consortium and say, no, but will your management allow you to do it, to his point? I mean, the next point is how many people...
Sorry to interrupt, because it's a higher number when it comes to this computer science cadres. By end of 6th semester, there are no candidates left out for placement.
Is it only... See, this problem is IT and...
Yeah, only with IT.
But
no. You are just giving me one more lead over here. So what this is doing is, even the non-IT sector, something like mechanical students who are fast learners or good graders, they get into this IT-enabled services company because of these early recruiters.
I'll ask him to answer. He's from that industry.
Because of these early recruiters, even the non-circuit or the domain engineers get into only IT-enabled services sector. So that's again disturbing the product line overall.
As a faculty, as a faculty, we face, it's maybe tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier Z, whatever may be the thing. We normally facing 3 type of issues, sir. The first one is, see, academics is purely a service-based industry. Okay. So, whereas academics, other than that, if you take with reference to corporate or industry, it's a pure monetary, business-oriented one. Yes? So, if for example in our lab, if some student make mistake with work piece, okay, we will give one more work piece. Whereas in the industry, that won't happen. They will take varieties of actions. Yes, sir? So, second thing is, nowadays the business environment is becoming more and more interdisciplinary. So, earlier type of classical approach is becoming obsolete, and entirely a mixed culture, multidisciplinary approach is needed. So third one is, especially with the students community. So nowadays the students, whatever the Gen Z, X, Y, Z, whatever the thing, these people who are coming, they are having a fast-paced approach. So everything they want, they don't want to have a considerable process-oriented approach. They want everything fast. So in the core industries, it's maybe having varieties of limitations. And with reference to the other people, obviously they will attract towards the higher packages and blue collar, white collar jobs. So if this thing is happening, so and as a tier 2, tier 3, etc., there exist varieties of student quality. If you take with reference to term quality with particular dimension, because it has varieties of dimension. So with these 3, as sir mentioned, with IT related industries, which nowhere trend is there, so everybody is attracted towards it. So when service-based industry, which is completely translated nowadays as a business. Education is nowadays a business, sir informally told. Yes? So, and another thing is, I specifically mentioned, you mentioned Mission 10X, which actually done by Wipro. Okay, they've given beautiful pen. So overnight, for almost fortnight, we did the, what is to say, activity-based learning. But when we implemented that in our institution and in our on-par other institutions, it created a huge havoc inside the institute. Almost all the staffs who invented or who implemented this activity-based education by communicating varieties of activities, they are supposed to give explanation to the principal, management, and etc. So this change mindset, especially where a transition from service to business is taking place, which is creating varieties of problems. And obviously, when service to business, when it comes, because industry is a pure business one. So wherever sir mentioned supply and demand. If supply is more, demand will be less. If supply is less and demand will be more. And overall, the business environment itself is more volatile. So today, for example, when we are student, Fortran is the language. But nowadays, that's obsolete at all. Now Python, Githan, everything that's gone. Now Anaconda, something, etc. may come. So this thing is happening, and how we will be able to map that one appropriately in a particular pathway, that's what the issue. So sir may be from mechanical is specifically telling, so I am also from mechanical, and another professor is also from mechanical. So we will directly tell, and others they may be having hesitation or reservations. I hope that everybody accepts this thing. So please answer, sir.
So I agree with both of you. So there is no argument. Industry should not come in 5th or 2nd semester. But I'll also tell you, close your door. Tell them, get lost.
We're not ready for that.
Yeah, we are not ready to take, I can't make them enter my campus in the 5th semester. Say it, full stop. Now it may be a problem for tier 2, tier 3. Because what are we doing? We have age. You keep itching it. It starts bleeding. Each is marketability. Each is my input, my entry, right? Each is my next year placement criteria. Each is NAC auditors, placement index, ET news, Economic Times news, or even better, Times of India news. Sometimes I completely agree with the Dr. Subramaniam. He is not in the rat race of having ranks. ಕೇಳಿದೆ ನಾನು ಮೊನ್ನೆ, ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕ್ರಿ ಕಾಮತ್ರೆ, RV will remain RV ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. That is confidence. And I've seen some of your professors, including mechanical, civil, interdisciplinary, sir, you said, look at their college. The child has joined biotech. My daughter, unfortunately, has not joined IT. She's in biotech, which is very, very fortunate for me. I'm just loving it, her decision to join biotech. She's done all projects in all interdisciplinary functions. So what I'm saying is, I think sometimes you need to give binary answers to industry with a lot of conviction. Saying that, no, my doors are closed until I have 7th semester. I don't want to let you come in.
I don't think we are dare enough to do that.
So that is one. Secondly, we are confused. It's not about even courage. We are confused because ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ BMS ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೆ, ನಾವು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಗೇಟ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್. Immediately, Dr. Subramaniam will get alert because sir has called him. I will lose good. I'll tell you, if you're good, people will still clap in the first row. As an all India radio artist, this is my Guruji said. I was all India radio artist at the age of 13. So he said, don't go to stage programs. You know why? Because the monkeys will grow to King Kongs. Less of stage programs because you get the aura, right? The moment people clap at you, you think that you're the best artist in the world. Okay? While I continue to believe practice sessions are the best session for you to realize your value proposition as an artist, not on the stage. Stage glorifies it. Many times placement glorifies you. But the reality is what you do in terms of interdisciplinary, what you do in terms of quality of teachers. Look at the quality of teachers in RV and some of these top colleges. Top class, yeah. Top notch. Some of the remarks they have written in the report of my daughter, I was really saying, wow, you should be given back one fitting reply. Because these kids think they're, Lord Einstein. They have behavioral. Lord is, not the Nobel Prize winner Einstein. I'm talking about the Lord Shiva kind, right? You have to make them get down to the grassroots and brass tacks by having an equally better teacher who can make them feel you are nothing. I think keep your credibility and say what you can. Say you can't. I think all of us will, thump on the table and clap. And let me tell you, it's like a visa office, US visa. People will wait previous night, if it's 7th semester, because my doors, it's like Lord Venkateshwara's door. You will wait till 3 AM ಅಲ್ವಾ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪೂಜೆ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಹಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗಿರಬೇಕು because Lord Venkateshwara will be there, no? So you wait for the semester, 7th trimester and allow everybody, public as well as VIP passes. Ibru 3 AM ನಂತರ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಹೋಗೋದು ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೊದಲು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ? ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, doors will be closed because Venkateshwara decides to open the door.
Yeah. Any other?
Yes, sir.
Sir, I had a few doubts from the student point of view. So, I am probably one of the youngest people here. I recently graduated from my master's. Process is fully online. We are applying with our CV. We are tailoring our job CVs for each role, and we are applying. But we are getting rejected in the first round because they are also checked by AI and they are rejected automatically. That is one common complaint which I am getting from students, that AI is rejecting them in the first round without even considering their application for further rounds, without a test. That is one complaint. And the other complaint is with respect to the skills. Various industries require various skills, right? Various companies within the industry only require separate skills. So, for example, simulation. One will require ANSYS, one will require PTC Creo, right? So, in terms of this, how much can a student upskill themselves? Do they have the time to learn all the skills in that gap of 3 years or 4 years of whatever degree they're doing in order to gain a placement in a company? Because they're not finding the time for their academics itself. So, how can we bridge the gap in that skill requirement? True that a student should be dynamic, but how would they go about bridging that gap in skills and with respect to this job application process?
So I'll just quickly reply before my co-panelists speak. On your first question, what was it? AI. Boss, long listing, whether you do it through AI or manual, doesn't matter. What is long listing? There are a set of criteria. 60% in 10, 60% in 12, 60% in, or no backlogs in engineering. Long listing is done by any tools. It doesn't matter whether AI does it or Suresh, Ram, John, Jonathan does it. So I think largely organizations do long listing. Okay? Because they have to qualify people to identify who are the better ones from a long list of 100 people. So it's a very unfair statement saying that AI is rejecting them. AI is not rejecting, they're shortlisting them. The other question you had, which is an interesting one. Skills, all skills. Why? What all skills? Let me tell you. Any industry at any point in time, including our initial 3 months in the organization, we are looking at not how many skills you've learned. We are looking at that one skill which you learned. Can you recite the song with a nice tune?
That's right.
बेसुरा गाने से आप सिंगर नहीं होते. ರಾಗ ಇರಬೇಕು, ತಾಳನೂ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ ಟ್ಯೂನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಪೋಯಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಾಡಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಡುವಾಗ ಇಫ್ ಶಿ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಶಿ ಹಸ್ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್, ಶಿ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಆರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲೇಟ್. And if he or she or he can articulate well, certainly the attitude will take them to learn n number of skills. And that's where we will open the door for them. Come in, we say.
Sir, another thing which we are doing in universities is we usually outreach to companies to come and talk to students or come and talk to faculty about what the expectations of the company is. So do you think it would be better on the industry side to outreach to universities saying that ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ನಮಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಫ್ರೆಶರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೆಂಚ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಇಂಥವ್ರನ್ನ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ, do you think that would be better for them to
No, that you guys are doing already. Your problem is you call every passionate guy, Praveen Kamath, come and speak. You don't shortlist people, no. The day you shortlist industry people who should come and talk, tutor him, calibrate him, educate him, what to speak, what not to speak, how much to speak, what is the story you should tell, which song to sing. ಅದು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Now I'm on your side. As colleges or as university, we get flabbergasted with our global titles. Don't get, don't give any bow to our titles. Please tell him, what are you going to speak today? I'm telling you, this happens in your management schools. When I go and give a guest lecture, say I'm Indore or I'm Bangalore, I will be made to speak to the teacher-student community first to ascertain what the hell I'm going to speak. Because if it's not aligned, it's going to disturb and create an entropy, which is very unfair. ಅದು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ we think that we should always create red carpet welcome for industry. Don't do it, no. Do it in such a way that industry is also calibrated and come back with a conviction and thought process which is aligned to your thought process.
Yeah, I think he didn't mean don't give the red carpet welcome, but what he's saying is give the red carpet welcome to the right people in the industry, if I'm correct. Right? So that is one. Let me go back to your first question. See, regarding this AI and shortlisting, you're referring to very large organizations like the Wipros and Infosys, where they get lakhs of applications. But there is also Indian companies at the, even companies have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? There are several students who are actually the cream of the cream who prefer not to go to the larger companies. Yeah, that's right. Right? So when you go to a mid-sized or smaller company, every company has to go through, because even there, they also get hundreds of applications. There's a standard process of shortlisting. It is not elimination, it is actually selection. Once they are shortlisted, that is when they go through the process of saying, if you have put something in your profile, like he said, at least can you prove what you have put? Can you show those capabilities, right? That is number one. So my point here is, if you're only talking about large companies, smaller companies perhaps will give you more personalized attention. They may hire only 10, but they are not going to hire. And smaller company usually will not come in 6th semester, like he said. They will not come because they don't have the resources. So just like industry keeps looking only at tier 1, academia also keeps only looking at tier 1 placement. Everybody wants to go to Google, but if a mid-sized company comes or Indian company comes, that is second tier for them, right? So there is this differentiation in the academia also. Let me point this out, because when the industry genuinely comes and says, I want a good candidate, we are doing research, this person matches that requirement, that person wants to go to Google, right? So it's a dance. We have to figure out how to bridge this. The second part question was ANSYS. These are new technologies which are there. I think everybody here reiterated, and it is the truth, if the fundamentals are strong, every day, just like you see news in the newspaper, you will find a new skill set that is required. But to Sir's point, if the person is trainable and they can qualify on the fundamentals that they have stated in their own resumes, the likelihood of them getting hired is better, because they will get a call. So the question again is back to the faculty. How strong can you make your students? Can you close your door? Like he said, you are in charge. If you say no, and you can talk to, at least if the tier 1 start doing that, maybe tier 2s will get a few more people, placement happening. That could be another strategy, right? So I think the ball is in your court. Definitely this shortlisting happens in the larger companies. They have to, because how can they evaluate everybody? So it's a normal process. There you have to use your own intelligence on how do you get your, resume picked. But when they go to the next level, I think he stated it, if they're at least able to justify what they have put in their own resume, I think that will be good. And like I said, ANSYS, etc., if you're able to demonstrate you can learn one, actually it is possible to learn the other. It's not that complicated.
It's time is running out, and we had a very involved interaction for more than an hour. The takeaway points are, there are so many issues and parameters, controllable and uncontrollable. Let's not worry about uncontrollable things. Let us fix ourselves on the controllable aspects of the issue of providing technical skills to the students. And because all our faculty we shall upgrade our esteem, we shall upgrade our levels of knowledge and expertise so that we'll be able to interact better with the students and do better service to the students. And another most important thing what came out is love your profession irrespective of the conditions, the management, that this, etc., etc. And the skill sets, as you said, so many skills are there in the world. A student cannot learn everything in the fixed 4 years. So it is the responsibility of the faculty to say, these are the skills that are required for you, mentor them and tell them, make them learn. And as he said very well, even if it is one set of skills, let them demonstrate that he has the right skill and he has the depth in it. He will be able to use it for the application. And that is the end of it. So I thank the participants for a great and involved session here. I thank each one of the panelists, Mr. Acharya, Mr. Kamath, and Dr. Seshachalam for their thoughts. And I thank the organizers for giving opportunity for the panelists to interact with the enlightened faculty here. I hope everyone is energized here. Kamath has given a lot of energy to the whole assembly, and we'll take the energy back, do our best. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know this was such a wonderful interactive session where where the faculty could share their issues or whatever problems they were facing, and industry people have given their perspectives as well. Thank you very much to all the panelists for your wonderful insights, and thank you for the moderator for engaging such an insightful session, sir. I request Dr. GP Sudhakar sir to please present a token of gratitude to all the panelists and the moderator. Thank you, all of you. We shall now break for a short tea break for 5 minutes and gather here back for the valedictory session. Thank you. And also, feedback forms will be provided by the volunteers. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form, and while collecting the certificates, please submit it. Thank you.